This is Countdown to Economic Collapse, May 15th, 2011. I'm David John Sponheim, running for president in 2012. First and foremost, don't tread on us. Don't tread on me. Don't tread on individuals in America. The individual must have all their rights protected. And secondary to that would be the state's rights to educate, to govern, and to regulate our lives, but not to the extent that they're imposing upon the individual. And in no way should the federal government take over any of our lives or dictate what we should do to our own bodies. Well, this past week has been a series of events. We are carrying over from the silver market crashing the week before. We're seeing a slight rebound in the silver market, but as you know, COMEX actually had a major effect, raising the amount of money people need to put into a margin contract in order to have a margin contract. That increase was 84% over a 9-day period the previous week. And this week has been more of a stabilization. We are seeing the same pattern happen in the gold market. And the biggest problem for a lot of investors is they don't know where to put their money. They're losing confidence. And that's the worst thing that could happen in an economic crisis. Now, I don't believe we are in a recession. We've talked about that. I believe we're in a depression. I believe the markets are responding according to world pressures. The euro is taking a serious beating from further worry and concern over Greece going bankrupt again. So the tendency for the European market to have an effect on the value of the dollar is very real. The dollar is still remaining relatively buoyant, but like I said before, the dollar has dropped significantly since 2002, 37% in value. So Barack Obama has not been a good steward of the economy. He does not exude a sense of confidence to investors. And many people are wondering, what can he do? Well, obviously he could fire Tim Geithner. He could make recommendations to the Federal Reserve. He could do things that would eliminate the possibility of more printing of money, reducing this monetarism. They can't really lower interest rates any, and many people are asking for an increase in interest rates, and they're not seeing it. So investors aren't making a lot of money in interest-bearing accounts, so we're still looking at a mass exodus to commodities. And the long-term investors are not enjoying it. They're riding a very wild ride. Because silver and gold and palladium and platinum, copper, all of these commodities are strong long-term investments, many investors are remaining and holding, and they're not seeing a mass exodus. The paper market in silver, many people are suggesting, is controlled by Chase Morgan. And what COMEX is doing is leveraging so that big paper brokers like Chase Morgan would be sheltered. It would have more securitization underneath their paper holdings of silver. It's possible. And if that's the driving force, that is not the work of a regulatory commission. That is the work of an inside trading partner. And if COMEX is doing that, they are liable, potentially. Now, in order to gain a solid control over the course of our economic growth in this country, we have to look at the basic formula, which is production, production, production. And since we aren't following more production, we're instead jobbing out many of our products around the world, and we're seeing lack of job growth as a result of that. Now, the key to getting out of the Great Depression was building jobs in the WPA and the CCC, and Ben Bernanke hasn't really followed in that model. And even he, I think, is a bit bewildered by the fact that banks that have gotten all this bailout money aren't investing in the labor force and aren't offering small loans, which is a big problem. So it's not stimulating the economy. Many people are giving him a B or possibly a C or a D or an F in terms of his efforts to stimulate the economy. What we need to do is develop a comprehensive approach to economic growth, production, conservation, and building up our own resources again and our own rare earth metal capability. We are losing market share. 97% of the rare earth metals that were used and are used in smartphones and wafer technology are coming out of China, and China says that they're cutting back their exports of those very rare earth metals. So we need to build that market. Other things we can do, obviously, is increase government jobs. Increasing government jobs will ultimately create a broader base of employment, but that doesn't mean they're going to all earn $160,000 a year or more. They're going to earn more like $30,000 to $50,000 a year. So lowering the big paying salary jobs in the federal government and raising the number of small salary jobs is a key to building growth in the labor market. Again, we need programs that will create jobs, like our solar rooftop installation program, our homestead renewal plan, our mobile medical unit system that could help provide health care at a low cost to people around the country. These are the plans that America's Third Party has, and these are the plans that will turn this country around.
Check us out at americasthirdparty.com.